we are going to be making watercolor paintings of birch trees in the evening. And as you can see, here are some examples of student work. Birch trees are white barked trees, and the sky will be dark and the trees will be light. We will be using masking tape to create the trees so we can keep them white, and we are going to be using a watercolor wash over the taped trees so they can stay white. All right, boys and girls. Today we are going to work on a painting of a set of birch trees, which are the white trees with the white bark in the night sky. So boys and girls, you are going to need a piece of paper. I'd like you to write your name in the lower right hand corner. I'm going to put Miss Kroll. I'd like you to use a pencil. I used a marker so you could see it through the camera. And boys and girls, simply, we're going to use tape to resist, which means like push off the paint, because we're going to be painting too, so we are going to use tape. I might use this masking tape or this blue masking tape. So you're going to get pieces of tape, and our trees are going to be going this way. The paper is vertical. Okay, so what we're going to do is start with a piece of tape that goes from the top to the bottom to start. Now mine's going to be kind of a bigger tree. My daughter is barking, or making the dog bark. And you're going to stick it down in the paper. This is going to be a tree. See how it comes off? You can fold it back, or you can cut it and then fold it. There is one tree. And you'll probably have thinner tape. You might have tape like this. Masking tape. This one will be a little smaller. I'm going to put this one right here in the middle. Press it down. You can't see it very well through the camera. Sorry about that. But you will see it in a bit. This is just one strip. Now you can take the tape to make a couple branches. We don't need to have too many branches, but you can take the tape and cut or tear. It actually looks better when you tear it, like this. Gives a nice edge. But I'm going to stick with my cutting today. And what I'd like you to do is make a few branches that go off your tree onto the side, like maybe right here. I know you can't see that very well, but a little bit. I should do it in the blue so you can see. And what I'm going to do is tear another piece of tape, and I'll probably be handing out pieces of tape while you're working. Here, I'm going to put a tree here on this side of the paper. Press it down. Flip it over. If you have to cut a piece off, cut the piece off. You want it to be nice and tight, but not too tight, so it's hard to get off. And here, I'm going to show you the center. You cannot see because of the light in here. But I'm going to take a piece of tape, cut up the middle, right up the center, to make another branch. Tape is not the easiest thing to cut because it likes to curl in on itself. There we go. And my tree, which you can't see, there's one right here, and I'm going to put a branch on it from the top to the middle. I'll put a couple more little branches here. I kind of like the way I ripped this better than cut it. Or you could do both. So you might have a strange pile of tape scraps on your table. That's all right. And I'm going to cut this one. There we go. I'm going to put a little branch up here at the top of this tree. Maybe going off the page. That's fine. If it goes off the page, take it and fold it under. That is pretty much the first step. I'm sorry you can't see this one in the middle, but it's there. Maybe if I turn this light off, you could see it better. No. Maybe this one. No. There you go. Maybe you can see it. All right, boys and girls. I have about 3 trees in here, and I have a lot of white space. Here, I'll put this here so you can see it better. Just gonna lay it on top of the other one. Excuse me. So you can see it in this video. It bothers me that you can't see the center tree. Now, these trees are white. The bark is white. They're quite beautiful. I know you've probably seen a birch. Well, the trees are going to stay white because we've used this tape to resist the paint. And the next step is going to be adding paint. And we're going to put a little salt on our painting because that's a really fun technique in watercolor painting. If you do watercolor wash and you put a lot of water in there and a lot of beautiful color, if you toss a little salt on it, the paint is also resists salt, which is really cool because it moves around and spreads away from the salt. Okay, here we go. Now you can kind of see this tree in the middle. You know, I think I might put one more branch over here. We don't have to get too complicated, but we want it to be interesting. Okay, that is basically your first step. Don't worry, I covered up my name. If you end up covering up your name, flip your paper over and make sure your name is on the back side also. First step. Hello, boys and girls. Here we go. I have everything for the next step. I have my taped artwork. The birch trees are covered with tape. I made a moon. This is a different one than I had before because I wanted you to be able to see the tape better, so I didn't use yellow tape. This one has a full moon with a little yellow and white mixed together, and I did use oil pastels to create snow on the white part of the paper, which now will become dark with blue and purple. You may get a third color, possibly pink or light purple or light lavender. Okay, but firstly, I'm going to put a little water in these 2 colors and start painting. So I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way over. And I'm using a lot of water because this is going to be something called a wash. I can add more paint to it. And boys and girls, I'm going to be adding salt. Can you see what the salt is doing? It's pushing away the paint. Perfect. And now I'm going to go into a little blue right next to this one and kind of mix as I go. It's so fun to mix these colors together. They look so beautiful together. They're the perfect combination in the night sky or in the evening sky. Little salt. You will not have salt at your table. I will be walking around and adding salt to your artwork. All right, boys and girls, I'm just going to go back into purple. You don't have to add a lot of water on top of the tape, but don't worry. It's not going to disappear. And this tape is really strong. It's actually made for painting, so it's got no problem with getting a little bit of water on it. Let's try a little more of this fantastic rock salt. Oh, here's my hair came off. There we go. All right, let's keep going and working our way up.